It's Drug Awareness Week. I'm joined in studio by recovering addict Fiona McCosh, and she's going to talk us through her story. Hello.
Hi, Jennifer.
Now, you are actually from the UK and you immigrated to South Africa about 5 years ago.
That's right.
Was this the beginning of your recovery?
Yes, it was. I hit my rock bottom 5.5 years ago, and rehab in England is very expensive, and so the option of coming to Cape Town for rehab was given to me, and I jumped at the chance, and I haven't been back since.
Are there a lot of foreign people who come to Cape Town, come to South Africa for rehab because it's more cost effective than, let's say, the UK or Canada or the States?
And Cape Town's got a great reputation for its rehabs here, and yeah, you get a lot of guys from the UK and from Holland coming over for rehab.
It must also be nice to be in a different environment when you're going through rehab.
Yes, absolutely. There's no triggers, there's no old people, places or things here. It was like a clean slate for me coming here, which I think definitely helped with my early recovery.
Talk me through what was going on in your life when you moved here to Cape Town.
Well, there was nothing going on in my life. I mean, I wasn't able to work. I was barely leaving the house. I was on the verge of bankruptcy. So coming from a place of utter desperation and deep isolation as well, my life has done a 180 degrees turn around. It's chalk and cheese. I can't really tell you how much of a difference and how far I've come. I certainly wouldn't have been able to come and do an interview in early recovery. I was a nervous wreck.
Well, let's go right back to the beginning. How did your addiction start?
Well, I think very early on, I was displaying addictive behaviours and obsessions. And relatively, compared to other addicts in recovery, I started a little later than most people. Alcohol, I think I remember, first time I got drunk when I was 16, I actually gave myself alcoholic poisoning. So, from the word go, I was drinking alcoholically, and then I was introduced to Class A drugs at 21 and took to them like a duck to water. And it was pretty much 20 plus years ensued of active addiction, and it's progressive. It just gets worse and worse year in and year out.
Talk me through those addictive behaviors.
Well, it was when I was very young. It was obsessions with boys, even very, very young. There's process addictions, which is something like gambling and eating and sex and love, and it looks like I'm a love addict, and so very early on, to escape my reality, I would become obsessed and fixated on boys. And then in my teenage years, with posters of pop stars and film stars on my wall, I would actually find myself getting high off of looking at their pictures and imagining meeting them and getting married. And then obviously it came to real boys at school, and I became very obsessed very, very quickly. And that coincided with the beginning of drinking and using. So I came out of my shell. I was quite introverted, and so the drink made me feel connected, helped me feel connected, and try to get attention from boys. So the process addiction and the love addiction, plus the alcoholism and the drug addiction, kind of fed into each other.
Now it's Drug Awareness Week. I want to speak about the drugs that you've had experience with in just a bit, but we're talking about alcohol right now, and I think a lot of people forget that alcohol is actually a drug. Tell me about alcohol addiction.
Well, yes, as you said, a lot of people will separate the two. I am a drug addict, but also an alcoholic, and I thought they were separate as well. When I came over here for rehab, I was in denial about the red wine, and I relapsed after 5 months of treatment and spent a miserable 4 months researching why I had to put down the red wine. It is addictive, it is a drug, it's a progressive disease the same ways as drug addiction is, and invariably when I pick up alcohol, the drugs are not very far behind. I have a few drinks inside me, and I want to go and find the drugs. So they're one and the same to me. I'm a drug addict primarily, but I know I can never touch another drink of alcohol as well.